Roger, go for deploy.
Part 2 of Cameron Mckenzie and John Tran back here at Adventure Fit Radio. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed part 1. Part 2 has some more interesting and exciting experience for you guys, and hopefully you can learn a lot from it. As always, we are brought to you by Adventure Fit Travel. Jump on their websites for their upcoming trips. They've just come back from Bali. I went to Everest last year. It certainly changed my life. Bill just showed me a text he received from one of the travellers on the Bali trip saying that it changed his life as well, and couldn't thank him enough. So guys, jump on their website. They've got some fantastic trips coming up, including the CrossFit Games in July. We're also brought to you by Audible Trial. Get your free 30-day trial and audio book at www.audibletrial.com/ADF radio. Again, we're looking for sponsors, and we're going to continue to promote our original sponsors free of charge, our Loxam Solutions and NDO Sups. So if there are any other sponsors out there that want to get behind Adventure Fit Travel or Adventure Fit Radio, please hit us up at doc@adventurefittravel.com. Otherwise, Loxam Solutions is a boutique consulting and business support company focused on business consulting and commercial services. And NDO Sups is www.ndosups.com for all your training and recovery supplements. Anyway, here is part 2. Enjoy.
So let's get into a little bit of... We talked about recovery and nutrition a fair bit. Let's talk a bit more about training. We kind of touched on it, and maybe we'll probably go into some mindset stuff, you know, when you're on the platform, because that's pretty interesting to me, and I think listeners. So I've got a question that I just want to pose. So the high bar versus the low bar, and what is the hybrid? There's a squat called the hybrid squat, right? Hybrid position for the bar.
Yeah. Yes, there's an in-between depending on how low your low bar is.
Yeah. So because I've been told that there's been quite a few world records these days that have been setting with more of a hybrid squat, or would you say it's only low bar is the way to go for just strength gains? And what's the percentage? Say low bar is 100% of the maximum you can lift. What's a high bar going to get you compared to?
Well, I read
an
interesting article in regards to the high bar and the low bar, but still like the hip and knee flexion angle.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a few lifters out there that squat with the same technique of a low bar in terms of like the hip and knee movement, but they keep the bar in a high bar position. So it's like it's creating a longer fulcrum, but for them it's more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of debate about whether the high bar is more beneficial or low bar is stronger. But I think, and I'm a really big believer in, if it feels good, do it. If it works, it works. There's an exception to every rule.
For sure.
So for me, like my high bar is, I'll probably say even up to 30 or probably 40 or 50 kilos weaker than my low bar.
Really?
My full low bar. Because I squat high bar and heels, so I squat low bar and flats.
Right.
So I can sit back better in my flats because they don't shift me forward.
Yeah.
My high bar, I train high bar specifically just to train keeping upright. So like keeping my spine erect, like nice and natural curvature.
And
driving through the quad drive.
Yeah,
just to train quad drive. Yeah. So not trying to use my back as much in the low bar, because the high bar helps to teach me to stay upright and drive through just the quads. Try not to recruit the low back and glute.
Yep.
Whereas my low bar, I try to incorporate the quads through that training technique, but use more hip flexion to get more glute low back involved.
Of course, yeah.
So the high bar is basically just an accessory for the low bar. You want to be able to recruit the quads a little more.
It's like close grip bench for me in regards to my wide grip comp bench. My close grip bench is just to help train my tricep and shoulder drive, specifically up into the end of the lift. So when I go over to my wide grip, as I'm coming through, I know how to feel, how to press out at the top of the lift, instead of just trying to flare out and kind of press it with my front delts or get pec injury too and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's for me, it's just a training tool.
Yeah.
The high bar.
I'm pretty much on the same page as Cam. So the high bar that I give to lifters is more or less a variant of leading up to training for their low bar. And you just train high bar for just to stay upright so they get more quad involvement, more quad recruitment and development. And then they'll do low bar as their competition lift, because invariably they can always squat more low bar. It just incorporates more posterior chain, what you find is the bar speed is a little bit slower, but it's a bit more imbalanced because they flex more at the hip, bar stays over midline anyway. And because they're imbalanced, if they hit sort of a sticking point, they can just push through it.
Yep.
Whereas if you're in a high bar position, usually people lose it 20, 30 degrees from coming up from the bottom. They'll tip forward, and because they're off balance, there's some of the neural inhibition or whatever you call it. The body just goes nah, and they just give up on it, and just dump it.
So with the sticking point that you mentioned, do you train any partial squats to try and get stronger coming out of the sticking point, or do you use what other? Do you know what I'm talking about there? So if you
can
come
train,
down,
you can train a pause squat. So you pause at the bottom to prevent the stretch reflex. So it's purely muscle drive that completes the lift.
Yep.
Yeah, you can train that. Some people do pin squats. So they come down, the weight rests on a rack or pins, and then so there's no muscle tension.
Yep.
And there's no reflex. So then they have to create muscle drive up against the bar from nowhere.
Yeah,
such, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So would you ever do what I'm talking about is basically coming down to that sticking point, so 3 or 4 inches above your bottom position, and returning up from there to try and build that strength. Do you
pausing at the sticking point?
Not a pause. No, not a pause. Just turning it around without that elasticity, and without the bottom position.
Yeah.
Also, just squatting down to the stick point.
Yes, that's right. So I just call them a half squat, because I've got a really not an ordinary sticking point, but I'm not really too smooth coming out of the squat, and just to build a different part of the leg and control that. And it's also used for controlling a clean a little bit to some extent. You can catch a little bit with a little bit more strength rather than be crushed and drive down the bottom. But
so for you, I would say not so much why are you training the half squat. I would say, well, why are you sticking in the squat? You've got to look at either movement, technique. So whether it's a technique flaw, you've got to go, well, I'm sticking there because I don't have enough quad drive.
It's my quads. It's my quads. Because it'll be bottom, hips, and then I'll straighten back up once my quads start to kick in.
So for me, I'm real old school where I train the lift and I do my bro work, so my bodybuilding, so power building style training.
Yep.
So for you, I'd say just build some cross-sectional area. So build some mass. So, well, for the listeners might disagree. That's up to them. But I'd say some leg press, leg extension, whether it be weighted split squats, but build some mass or front squats. So train, get the muscle bigger and then make it stronger, and it might help fix the limitation or the pause, because you got more drive through the quads, so they're more active. There's more punch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, it's funny. I've heard of people training, for different sticking areas and all this sort of stuff. I just wonder if you do that, you'll sort of get used to sticking, and it'll do the adverse effect. I've heard of different things with that sort of training. I'm not too sure, but I think you're definitely right with the accessories. Split squats and leg extensions, as you say, and all that sort of stuff. You can't beat just a big cross sectional area. We just started 5-3-1.
It's good stuff. It's always the good,
I love
very
it. I love
informative, little fucking rant
bit
you
of
put on here,
cross-sectional
mate.
I am.
Giving us nothing.
So yeah, look, I'm a powerlifter, and
I train cross-sectional
cross-sectional areas. Yeah. Hip flexion and cross-section. Yeah. No, but speaking anecdotally, I just shut up, Mac. You're not even on the mic. No, you're right. I am a loser. Yeah, we just started a 5-3-1 program, and the bulk of the training is all accessory stuff, and we'll probably only squat twice in it. But I just noticed, even from a 2-week difference, that the squat's gone up, and that's probably 8 sets at the most in 2 weeks. So really base it on the accessories.
What type of accessory stuff are you doing?
A lot of split squatting, a lot of posterior related work, tons of good mornings, back extensions, glute ham raises, and all that sort of stuff. And it just feels stronger in the bottom. I always have an issue with sort of knee caving. Well, I used to, not anymore, but knee caving in and because I just couldn't hold tension at the bottom. But doing all this stuff and making sure I'm really on point down there has just made it feel really good. And I honestly thought it was quad related, but it's much more staying tight down there, which I can put forward to the accessories. Yeah.
Two things I was going to say. Training your stick point as well. Coming down to the stick point and then back up. is a completely different feeling to going down through the entire squat and back up to that stick point as well. So it's probably not as specific as it could be, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure, I understand.
Because it's like benching to a block instead of benching a full, like going down doing a full bench press up to that stick point. Like you're training that part of the lift, but it's just not the same. Like you want to be able to probably squatting probably 3 or 4 inches below your stick point to a box and then back up. So at least you're
Going back up
accelerating into your sticking point.
Yeah.
Which should be really good. So like a low block pull for a mid-thigh stick point for a deadlift would be really good.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to stop at the stick point. You want to accelerate.
Yeah.
Accelerate into it, so then at least it's specific.
So what exact exercise would you recommend? Say you were my coach right now to get through that sticking point.
Without seeing
Yeah.
the video, are you high bar, low bar,
High bar.
heels, flats?
Yep. With
Heels.
weightlifting shoes.
So high bar getting through there. Yeah, it could be technique related, but I'll probably say even a bit of glute activation or bigger glutes and bigger quads. So it could be bench up extension with some barbell. It's like really strict, not just throwing the weight up, but driving and squeezing the glutes.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like even some old school stuff. So like front squats or Zerger squats would be really good too. Zerger squats to a box would be good for you.
That's been my biggest problem is my glutes. So when I had my back issues, I was seeing an exercise physiologist, and he was watching me squat, and I'd have a pretty light weighted barbell on my back, and I'd squat, and he would be poking me in the bum, and it was just loose. I had no glute activation. So I do a lot of glute work, a lot of upper hamstring work. I've just started. So my girlfriend's an osteopath. Is she an osteopath?
Yep.
Osteopath?
Unemployed?
Is it osteopath?
She's an osteo. She's not.
Sorry, I just thought.
Osteo.
She's an osteo?
Yeah.
And what we've been doing is, like I do all my stuff in the gym, obviously, but we've been getting needling. Have you seen the stim stim needling?
Yep.
So I get needles put in little. It's just the osteo needles, and they put the
Electrodes
electric
on it?
voltage on it,
Yeah.
and then it's doof doof doof. So and then I'm supposed to be doing homework of just butt clenches, like but just to flick that switch on, because glutes are kind of like if they're dormant, they'll stay dormant, they'll stay asleep, and you try and switch them on, they'll probably continue to work. But that's the biggest thing that I've actually been trying to get across. We've just started this glute stimulation work once a week, and it's crazy. My left glute, we'd put it on, we'd put the stims in there, and we'd put it on a setting of 2, and it would go doof, doof, doof. Not bad. You can turn it up. Did a few at like 4, did a few at 6. I'm nearly fucking jumping off the table. Put it into my right glute, put it on 2, and it's like, I'm like, are you going to start? She's like, it started. Your glute's not doing anything. Like it wouldn't even respond the same to the same electrical stimulation. So eventually we like got it up and going, but it was really, anyway.
That's really
And
interesting.
for you as well, if they're dormant, they're probably tired or inactive as well. So not only like stimulating them, but a bit of myofascial release to improve your external hip rotation.
Yeah.
Will probably give you better drive with your quads and your glutes, so you'll be able to drive through that stick point harder and better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't do anywhere near enough, rolling out and work to keep my body nice and limber.
I think most people don't.
No, that's
And
right.
we sit down a lot all the time, and it's just really affecting our hips.
I do a lot of stuff. Oh, yeah, I don't do any myofascial release.
So one thing I say to every client of mine, I always say, all right, so would you cut 10 minutes of your session to improve the quality? Well, yes, that's fucking given. Well, let's say you've got an hour session. Spend 10 minutes on the roller, train 5 days a week. 50 minutes, 200 minutes a month, and then that's what, like 2,400 minutes or whatever a year. So I think that's like, what, 20, 30 hours a year from 10 minutes a day. It all adds up.
Yep.
Save your pennies, and you're going to save yourself X amount of trips to your physio, chiro, and training quality will go through the roof.
Yeah, that's a good way. Because people don't like doing extra on top of, I mean, I'm a CrossFit coach, and people don't want to do more that's required other than just being able to rock up.
Just want to lift heavy shit, chuck it around, and then leave.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But I get people in, I get them to do a few bodyweight squats, and I've got a good enough line out to go, all right, we need to do this. But you can get your back rolled out, smash out your adductors RT band, and get an elbow into the hip. Already the hip movement and all around the pelvis usually fixes every other ailment. Like if you got like a bit of knee valgus, so like bad VMOs and stuff, that's fixed through the hip or the glute.
Absolutely.
10 minutes is all it takes.
Yep.
You get through your session faster because you're working more efficiently. Like, it's just a given for me. If you're not doing it, you're either wasting training time or training quality.
Yep. And it's so much safer in the long run.
And it all adds up. Like, the biggest thing is it all adds up to a big chunk of time that you can't make up anywhere else.
Do you guys think about this sort of stuff in everyday life? Like we spoke about before about how much time you devote to recovery and all this sort of thing. Are you conscious of how your body's feeling throughout every day? Like for me, for example, I'm always thinking, am I sitting down too long? Am I doing this and that? Is that something you're aware of?
I think as trained individuals, you're generally pretty aware of how you feel. Like, if you sit, like you said, if you're sitting down all day, you're aware of the consequences.
Yep.
I think that maybe sometimes to your own detriment. When you stand up, you're like, oh crap, it's a lot tighter than it actually is. Like you just sort of exacerbate the issue.
Definitely.
So right now, because I'm distracted, I'm slouching in the chair. But on the way down from home this morning, a 2-hour drive, I was trying really hard to sit up straight, shoulders back, to train good patterns. Like Kelly Surratt's got some fantastic stuff, and just training good movement all the time. Because, like, practice isn't perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect.
Yep.
So if you're doing shit things all the time, you're only going to be shit.
Yeah, it's really good. I really love Kelly Starratt and his approach to, just everyone should be able to perform basic body maintenance, I think, is his biggest thing. And the amount of people that you just see going through and just sit. I mean, you'll see someone who's cooped up in a bed, sleeping 8 hours. Cool, they've done that. They wake up, they have breakfast, they sit in the car for an hour, drive to work, sit at work for 8 hours, drive home, watch some TV, go to bed. I mean, that is just the worst thing, but it's the norm, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Unfortunately.
But I'm always so aware of it. So I'll go home after the drive today, and I've got a wedding this afternoon. So
Congratulations.
not mine.
Yeah.
Thank God, too young.
Yeah.
No, but I'll go home and I'll honestly jump on the roller quick and crack out my spine and just release a bit, because I'll have to sit down at the wedding and this and that. So I'm just always so aware, and just in stuff I do as well, like just sitting down, I'll go to sit down and I'll make sure I squat down into a movement.
Yeah.
Because if you train shit movement all the time, imagine how many times you stand up and sit down in a day.
Oh, that's exactly
right. If you start doing it properly every time, you go, oh, well, it feels
CNS
better,
just
looks
knows
better.
that's
right.
It's
Yeah.
that motor unit recruitment synchronization. You're training the patterns
Absolutely.
time and time again.
People are, so unaware that going to the gym, a commercial gym, should be more about creating healthy patterns as a habit, as opposed to, getting aesthetically big. Whatever your goal, you should be practicing in a safe way and taking that to outside life as well.
So this is a good point to throw to another segment. You got any riddles for us, mate?
Yeah, got a
Forgot to
couple of
mention
riddles.
this one to you boys. This is a new segment Tommy's come up with.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
bit
far
of
it's
a,
been, hit and miss like they all are, but
been very hit and miss.
Just don't stutter again.
Yeah, that's right. What travels all around the world but stays in one corner?
A stamp.
So Macca said a stamp, guys, and he got it exactly right. We are interviewing Mac on the show.
I just saw the paper airplane. Don't ask me why.
So you didn't know that?
No,
You just thought, what the hell were you looking at?
I can't see it.
Yeah, that was awesome. Alrighty, we'll probably keep this one at the guest for the moment, just for the first 30 seconds. Sorry, guys.
Shut the fuck up.
What is greater than God, more evil than the devil? The poor have it, the rich need it, and if you eat it, you'll die.
Gold.
Gold, if you eat it, you die. That's good. It is greater than God. Gold, more evil than the devil? Negative. Good guess though.
not
You
bad.
sure? I reckon it's more evil than the devil.
Yeah, money.
People.
Money is the
Money,
root of
yeah.
all
The
evil,
poor
bro.
have it though. The poor have it.
Oh, you got me there.
Oh,
The poor have
Damn.
gold. They're still poor. They just have shit gold.
I don't know.
You want to read it out again?
Yep.
hard-
What
it's
is
hard to keep them on
greater
the head.
than God, more evil than the devil? The poor have it, the rich need it, and if you eat it, you'll die. It's a good one.
This actually sounds familiar, but I can't.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. You would have heard it before.
It's a tricky one.
3, 2, 1, nothing?
No.
No.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing is
Nothing.
greater than God. Nothing is more evil than the devil. The poor have nothing. The rich need nothing. And if you eat it, you'll die.
Well, they're all pretty,
Oh, got me.
Hey,
not bad.
hey.
They're all pretty, iffy, but
Come on. All right, you do the segments, mate.
Oh, the rich need. The
your
rich
segment
need.
will be,
the rich,
I'm a weightlifter. I'm
the
a
rich-
weightlifter.
the rich need. Nah, I'm just being real philosophical.
So
You
this-
know, the
this
rich
riddle
need more
is,
than,
who's the
you know,
weightlifter?
Whatever.
Oh,
yeah,
me.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
me.
it. I'm a weightlifter. Ooh, check your, keep your pants on, man.
What else
Excellent.
you got?
We've got. I'm going to throw to a did you know here. Okay, where did the? So this is did you know is a. I'll give you like an ABC. 3 possible answers. The goal is to guess the right one, and the winner gets some gold.
Gets sucked on his dick. Sorry,
That
boys.
just escalated right away.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Whoa.
Move on, pretend.
All right,
Let's go. Come on. Sorry, boy.
Okay, where did the? Oh my goodness. Where did the military salute come from? Was it from have we already done this one? Are you 100% sure?
Do it again for the boys.
All right, we'll do it again for these lads. Was it holding heavily armored guns above one's head when trench walking? Was it derived from Nazi Germany from the Hitler greeting or the Nazi salute? Or was it C, medieval times when lifting a veil off a knight's armour to speak to the king? What do you reckon?
See.
C?
Yeah, but see.
Johnny?
See.
100%?
Yeah.
Well, was it really obvious?
Yeah, because the
You
American
guys listen to our show, so you obviously
because the
know.
American army was around at the same time as Nazi Germany, so that was saluting
Yeah.
back
They were
then.
saluting way
the
back
first
then.
one,
Yeah.
the first one, they wouldn't do it from heavy artillery because there wouldn't be enough of those people.
Yeah, that's spot on.
Wow.
I was kind of
Smart.
half asleep.
Whereas
We need to
That one's just too specific to lift the.
Yeah, I was trying to
armour.
make it specific,
Yeah.
but yeah.
We need to start. I told that story yesterday that I told on the podcast a couple of weeks. We've been doubling up on shit.
We've been doubling up a
You got
lot.
any? You got one more? Did you know?
I've got where was it? I did. No,
But
not
you
at the
don't.
moment. Not today.
All right, that's all right. Moving on.
Moving on. Let it out.
Good stuff. So, what are the main tenets for getting strong to the people out there that wanna get strong that don't live in a powerlifting community or they train themselves?
So in terms of a programming approach,
Just basic tenets to live by. What are the most important things to training and getting strong? It's a very broad question. Take it whichever way you like.
if I was to say it really short and sweet, it'd be train hard, rest harder.
Yep. Okay.
That was really short.
Yeah, really
Uh,
short. Well,
I don't think I've got it that short.
I reckon to build
Yeah.
on that, I'd say just build lots of volume. So lots of you don't want to max out every session or max out frequently. It's doing lots of hard work. So lots of reps at a moderate weight just to build muscle. So building muscle, training good movement patterns, and doing all the little things like we've spoken about. Good diet,
Yep.
nutrition, sleep recovery. Do all the little things properly and.
Yeah. Take care
Yeah.
of itself.
I'd say strength is a skill. Learn the technique of whichever maneuver you want to get strong at. Once you've got the technique down pat, then progressively add more training volume, sets and reps, and gradually add more weight. Eat well, rest
So
easy.
So strength is efficiency.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't have efficiency,
You can use that if you want.
you just can't get strong.
With what you touched on, Cam. So, how often do you go to hit a PR, PB, whatever you want to call it, for whichever part of the world you're from? So, in training and in lead ups to comps, how often will you max?
For me, because I train so frequently, not train so frequently, because I compete so frequently, I'm only ever maxing out at a competition.
Yep.
I mean, my last competition was in September last year, and I only maxed out in 5 weeks ago. So it was a good 6 or 7 months between maxing out.
Yep.
Because in that time, I was just trying to build cross-sectional area and just build mass and get stronger. And I decided to test at a comp, so I left it all that time. Because to me, there's no real benefit of hitting a proper 1RM because there's too much CNS fatigue.
For sure.
It's just going to completely ride me off for a good fortnight to 3 weeks to fully recover.
So, how do you go about working out your what you're confident to hit for your first, second, and third lifts on comp day? If you don't, or how high do you test to? Do you go to 90% and work from there, or how does it work in a lead up to a comp?
For me, I don't train over 90%. So I'll work up to probably 4 singles at 90%. a week and a half out from the competition.
Yep.
And I'll make that my opener. So that'll
Yeah,
be my first
perfect.
attempt at the comp because I know I can hit 4 quality easy singles at that attempt. I use the
great
same
system.
method for all my athletes, and I've had numerous athletes over the past fortnight hit anywhere from a 7.5 to a 20 kilo PB on all 3 lifts.
Yep.
And they use that same method of not going over 90% to preserve the central nervous system, but working at a high enough intensity to know the movement is quality and there's no big limitations, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure.
What's your mindset when you go to approach a new 1RM and you haven't hit it for 7 months like you just have?
For me, I don't like to think too much. I mean, I've done the movement that many times, it's second nature. So I just make sure I do the big things right. So if I'm going out to lift, I get psyched up. I'm quite an aggressive lifter.
What sucks you up?
I have quite loud music, so loud, heavy music, whatever, like makes my mind tick.
You got any favourite bands? Like what bands do you put on?
Oh, Slipknot's
Slipknot.
big favourite for
Yeah.
heavy lifting.
I used to. I had the Slipknot albums back in the day.
Black Betty by
Greenspoon.
Spiderbait.
Spiderbait, I mean. Yeah.
Spiderbait, yeah, that one does it for me as well.
Yep.
But yeah, I do that, and when I go out for the lift, it's mainly just keeping that aggression, but taking my time in doing the lift first. Say for squat, I'll march out to the bar, make sure I'm grabbing it on the right spots, coming under and squeezing tight. So I'll be doing it all aggressively, but doing the same routine as I would in the gym, but just doing it with more aggression and more intent.
We haven't touched on this. What are your personal bests on your lifts?
For squat, I'll just say training because they're bigger.
Yeah.
My best lifts are 325 kilos for the squat raw,
Yep.
210 kilos for the bench, and 365 for the deadlift. Now they're the raw lifts.
Yep.
My equipped PBs are 375,
So how much more is that? That's a. Did you say it was
50 kilos more
Far out.
for equipped. Oh, there are lifters that get up to 100 more.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm poor when it comes to using the equipment. Some
Yep.
lifters are miles more.
Wow.
So that's squat.
Because of the suit.
Yeah, so you're using the suit, so it's more technical, it's more skillful because you're using added equipment to benefit you, your biomechanics and your technique. Bench 240, deadlift once again 365.
Cool. And what about you, John? Approaching a max lift.
For myself and even for my lifters, I have the same approach. They max out at comp.
Yep.
Because I'm training them to be powerlifters. You're training to get ready for competition.
Absolutely.
So they max out at comp and not any time before. In terms of like working out what their 1RM is, like especially for beginners, if they lead up to a comp, say 2 or 3 weeks out, they'll do a heavy triple, or even the week of, the week earlier they'll hit a heavy triple, and that'll be the opener. For beginners, it's a lot easier. They're not going to hit their full potential at their first comp anyway.
Yep.
For the most part, the heaviest my lifters goes might be a double, which will be touching on 80-85%. So all the vast majority of their work is submaximal.
And for their first comp, you want them to hit all lifts, or you're happy for them to fail on the platform?
Well, I guess the goal with powerlifting is everyone wants to go 9 for 9. You don't want to miss a lift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The
definitely.
goal is to turn up and go and build your biggest total.
Yeah.
So ideally for everyone, regardless of beginner or extremely experienced and advanced, the goal is 9 for 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the gold standard, the pinnacle.
Yeah. For beginners, my emphasis for them is not worry about weight class they're in. Just going whatever weight they are, just register for whatever weight they're sitting at, and then go in there and have fun.
Getting comfortable on the
Minimal
platform
investment.
and-
Just jump in there, go for gold. And, if they go 9 for 9, fantastic, great, dig well. Sometimes I'll let them push a bit, especially in their last deadlift. They're feeling good. They're all pumped. It's their last lift. They can sort of go for it within reason.
The biggest thing for a beginner is the learning. Like, I haven't met one person that's done their first comp and said they've learnt more than they ever have in their whole training experience prior to that date.
You haven't met someone who hasn't said they've learnt more.
Yeah, so everyone that I've spoken to turns up, does their comp and said, oh my God, I learnt so much about the sport, about myself, how I handle myself, what makes me tick. All those sorts of things. Everyone, it's just such a... People go, oh, no, I want to wait till I'm strong enough to do a comp. I say, don't wait, do it now.
Yeah.
You asked about pet hates? That is my pet hate.
You'll get
And you're never going to be strong enough.
faster.
Yeah.
It's all relative.
A lot of
It's
new
relative
people...
to how you are now, where you are. Like it's,
Yeah, a lot of new people come to me and go, oh, I want to train. I get, when I get started. I say, cool, let's schedule a comp in like 3-4 5 months and then, no, I want to get stronger. I want to wait till I'm like 600 total. I'm like, mate, that puts you top 10. What you don't know is those people in the top 10 have been training 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, yeah, I'll just wait. See you in 10 years.
And you need the practice on the platform.
That's right.
You need
People
to be
forget
comfortable under the pressure.
You need competition experience.
That's a skill. To be able to handle the pressure of standing up there.
Yeah.
Some people are the best trainers in the gym and go out and mentally don't have it, and they're the guys that need to work on that, and you can only work on it by
being there,
lacing up on a Saturday and getting onto the platform.
Yeah.
So is it the same for you at the top of your game, Cam? Obviously, you would probably know the saying that your first lift is something you hit, second lift is something you think you can hit, and the third lift is something you're not quite sure whether you can hit. Can you just check that? So for you though, at the top of your sport, is it different? Are you trying to always like hit a new number for your third lift, or do you have to worry about rankings and results, or you're always trying to just keep the body nice and go 9 from 9? How does it work for you?
Oh, it's tough, hey, because at a local level, I'm trying to ideally PB.
Yeah.
Whereas at the world level, you got to think about placing.
Yeah, that's right.
Competition, the total. The total is what counts.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, no one remembers who came first in the squat or the bench or the deadlift. They remember who won, who got that gold in the total. So ideally for me, it's hitting the first and the second, no PBs till the third.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to build the total and then go for ideally the PB or the placing at a world championship level.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so if you need to pull a big PB on the third attempt deadlift to win, that's all you need to do. But if you're the last lifter and you miss your PB total or your deadlift by 10 kilos, but it wins you the comp, well, you just take that.
Yeah.
Would you agree, John?
And team points as well.
Yeah, team points. So your team can win the world championships based on who has the most or the highest placings combined in terms of points. Yeah, it's a tricky question. At the local level, I'm always pushing for PBs. At the world level, I'm pushing for 9 from 9, and I'm trying to get the biggest total to win. At the end of the day, it's winning at the world level. At the local level, it's just PBs. I don't care if I miss lifts. It's just trying to go big and have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
For running comps, I run local comps, and the variance of lifters is so great that most of the time people are just aiming for PBs. That's not so much about placings until you get to like nationals or international level, where it really matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. Well, this has been a really good podcast so far, boys. I reckon the listeners will be getting heaps out of this. But you've got your wedding to get to. We got to get out of this hotel room at some point. So we'll go to our final segment, which is 9 from 9. It'll be 9 relatively, rapid fire questions. 3 from Mac, 3 from myself, 3 from Tommy. So we'll ask them individually. Hey, we'll go through the both. Can it?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first question is, we'll start with you, Cam. Is what's your morning ritual?
Straight in the shower.
At what time?
Oh, depends on when my first client is. For me, it's wake up generally at 6:30 in the morning, straight in the shower, then straight to have my morning coffee. So just espresso.
What's all right.
You eat before you go to work.
I was going to say,
the whole routine.
No, I just want to know, do you what's for brekkie? Give us a little bit of insight into your morning ritual. Some people are really they need to stick to routine. Some people just get up and they don't eat until lunchtime. What do you do?
So generally, I'll wake up at anywhere from 6 to 7 because I do PT and I'm based on my first client. But yeah, straight up, I'll walk straight to have a shower, clothes on for work, my morning coffee, and I always have oats with yogurt and like fresh berries. So just get some good quality, fast absorbing protein, some low GI carbs to sustain me for the first hour or two of my morning and with clients, and get some berries, antioxidants in the system to start the day with just some hit of caffeine and just some good quality food.
Yep.
And that's every morning, yeah.
Yep. Second question is, do you meditate?
No.
Have you thought about it?
No, I haven't.
Fair enough.
I should. Do you rate it?
Yeah, absolutely. It sort of, it was interesting hearing your mindset towards a lift and stuff like that, and just being present. And I was just wondering, I have fantastic experience with it.
I've only started doing it. I did it for would get a little bit of anxiety from time to time, and also just really busy with work and just heaps very cluttered in my head. I'm very novice with it, but I spend like 5 or 10 minutes a day, and just really clears my head, and I'll be like, right, I can get into whatever I need to do. I mean, you might not need it, but it could be something that could give you 2%, which
Training might be a form of meditation for you. There's different
Yeah,
forms,
I think so. Yeah,
It's just when a real simple form of it is just being in the moment. When you're in the moment, when you're training, that might be meditation for you.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of stuff about the meditation and what it gives people. So yeah, it's something to look into for sure.
And the third question is, if you had one day left on the earth, and obviously you could spend it with family, but what else would you do? How would you spend your time?
God.
big one. It's a big one.
Yeah, I wouldn't waste my time lifting the barbell. God, what would I do? Time with family. God, that's a hard question, eh?
It's the biggest question.
It's massive.
Yeah, it's probably spend time with family, just have fun. I reckon kick the footy, eh?
Yep. Yeah. Sweet.
Something from I did all my life before powerlifting. So yeah, kick the footy with friends and family and just soak it up.
Yeah.
Johnny boy, rapid
Alright.
fire, morning ritual.
Morning ritual. Roll out of bed around. It's supposed to be 8 o'clock. Always ends up 8:45. It's about
8:45.
not a morning person, so it's about 5 snoozes later. Brekkie, check emails, and then head off to the warehouse to pack orders because I got an online shop. So that's it. I wake up 8:30, 8:45. I don't sleep till midnight, so that's why it's a late. It's just shifted over timescale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second question, do you meditate?
No, but it's always something that I've wanted to explore.
Yeah, it's definitely worth
Looking like a monk and all.
it. Yeah.
So that's all. It's things that pop up on Facebook feed and other friends and stuff like that. I've mentioned it before, and it's like, yeah, I should do it, but it just gets shelved all the time. So I might actually go down that avenue now that you brought it up.
Yeah, no, I'd highly recommend it. And the third one is the last day on Earth. How would you spend it?
I've had a little bit longer time than Cam to be able to think about this one.
Oh, that was putting me on the spot.
Yeah.
Being a bit of a car enthusiast, I would steal a car, drive out to Northern Territory, and just max out.
Oh,
as
that
fast
sounds
as I
so
can.
much better than my answer.
But
Fuck a footy.
done at
Footy's
night
back
before
in the cupboard.
done at night before the Earth ends, so I can see the stars while you're doing it.
Ah, yeah.
Ooh, that's
There you
nice.
That makes me look so shit.
That would be better than you for something, mate.
You can ride shotgun with him. All right, my questions are travel related, so I'll start with you, Cam. Your favourite destination or holiday destination, favourite place to be? Can be small, can be country, can be...
Florence, Italy.
Really?
100%. I went there in 2011 just for family for a holiday. It was Christmas. I spent Christmas Day there.
Right.
Most beautiful place in the world. I'll go back there in a heartbeat.
Awesome.
100%. Yeah, absolutely love it.
Yeah, cool. That's a great answer. And similar, but dream destination, so can be anywhere, somewhere that you want to head to.
Probably Bora Bora. Sounds pretty lame, but I always see the videos and photos. And
See those decks leading out to the little huts on the water.
I always
Yeah, it's
see
pretty-
that. I just go, just be so isolated, but it's just such a beautiful
Spectacular.
place to be. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sick. And if you were on a desert island, this is another tough one, putting you on the spot. If you're on a desert island and you had 3 items to keep you sane, they're not your family. You've got a toothbrush, you've got food, you've got all that stuff. 3 things to keep you entertained, keep you sane. What would they be? Probably a footy,
Yeah, footy. Probably a big machete.
machete.
Nice.
Cut through shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just loves
Footy,
cutting through
Love
shit.
cutting stuff.
And there's other animals on the island.
Yeah, there are.
Or
Yeah,
our gun.
yeah. There you go. No, well, there's
Truly
really
survived.
knocking
Not like
animals
little
around.
play pets that have pets and stuff. Just a gun and a machete.
You got to keep yourself. Well, in saying that, you can't have a phone charge. Your phone or electronics that die.
Nah, that's right.
You got to entertain yourself for a while.
We had somebody that wanted a solar charger and an iPhone, and we're like, fuck.
Yeah, that was my dad actually, and he also wanted a pair of socks. Anyway, moving on.
That was your dad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Shit.
How are you, David? You're a good man.
John, so same questions. Favorite place you've ever been?
Germany. Partners from Germany.
Oh yeah.
Been there twice. Love it. Any specific part, I know it varies so much.
Yep.
Love the food. the fact that you can drive really fast,
Autobahn.
autobahn, quality food.
Oh, you would love
I'd-
that being a car,
I
man.
would move there if they had more variety of Asian food.
Right.
That's
What's
it.
your favourite sort of Asian food?
Dumplings.
No.
Not dumplings?
What are you on about? I don't know. It's just broad variety.
It's good food.
My rule is dead and not moving.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So
That's a good rule.
Yeah.
Dead and not moving is
Dead and not
generally what I tend to stick by.
Oh,
That's
mate,
Japanese, isn't it?
I've been.
Yeah.
Someone's tried to feed me live witchetty grub. And it's like,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
barbecue
Oh, they
first.
do like live octopus and stuff, don't they? Is it octopus or is that?
Oh, that's in Korea.
Oh,
Baby
that's
octopus, you wrap it
Korea.
around your chopsticks.
Yeah.
And you shove it in your mouth and you down it with like soju or whatever it is, and hopefully you don't choke to death.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Fuck
Wow.
that.
That's why dead and not moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
A favourite dream destination?
Iceland.
Oh, same here.
Just
Same
the
here.
photos I've seen,
100%,
or
man.
even like far northern reaches of like Norway.
Yeah.
And catch the aurora borealis
Oh,
and everything
man.
else.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
100%. Good work. And then the 3 things that you would keep on a desert island.
Magnifying glass,
Why so?
so I can start a fire
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
That's a good one.
Thinker. Real
Without-
thinker.
Good one. I thought it
without
was like
reliance of anything else.
checking out ants and
Yeah.
Because you know sunlight's going to come through eventually,
Yep.
Yeah.
so you can always use it.
Yeah, thinking,
Machete and pair of shoes.
Pair of shoes.
Pair of shoes.
Okay.
very Bear Grylls survivalist.
Yep.
That one probably should have specified. You got all the stuff to stay comfortable, but that's good answers anyway. Good stuff.
I thought it was just me butt naked on the island.
Yeah. And you want a machete? Kemi, what do you do in your downtime? What keeps you sane? What do you do?
I shouldn't have much, eh?
You don't know much, yeah.
Well, the only time I'll have to myself is probably 8 or 8:30 p.m. at night after work.
Yep.
Because I'll work through from probably 6 a.m. to 11 a.m., duck home, have lunch, go back to work and train.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got clients from 3 till 7 or 7:30. So my downtime's usually like a episode of Game of Thrones.
Oh,
or
nice.
Good downtime.
Yeah, so it's just that, and I'll read like a book. I love like prison or gangster books.
Really?
Oh, wow.
I've
Cool.
read a ton of. That was my big.
I read the Long Bay Jail.
Oh yeah.
It's all about Long Bay Prison
Sick.
in Sydney. Yeah, so
Wow.
it's really good.
Have you read The Iceman?
No.
Iceman's about Richard. This is one of my favourite because I was obsessed with like the mafia, gangsters, and like
Yeah,
drug
yeah,
dealers, like Pablo Escobar books I've read. Iceman's sick. It's probably my favourite like true crime book. It's about Richard Kuklinski, and he's a Polish guy that started doing hits for the. He started murdering people in New York. Like he was murdering in like the slums of New York to survive basically when he was 14. And then when he became when he turned about 18, he got his first mob hit. Anyway, this guy was he didn't work for one family in the mafia. He worked for all 5 families. He was like a subcontractor hitman, but he had a loving wife and 2 beautiful daughters. He was a respected member of the community. He murdered like 500 people until he was 65 years old. He got
Jesus.
busted. Yeah, he had cyanide spray that he used to go past people in. He worked out, but he got bored of this technique. But he used to go past people with cyanide spray in nightclubs and go, "Tss, gotcha."
Oh, my God.
And that's enough.
I was mad. He tortured. The book starts. He tortured. So he got asked. This book, the prologue is about this incident where there was a guy that raped one of the made men's daughters. So the head of the mafia family said, "We want this guy killed, but we want him to really suffer." So what he did, he lived in upstate New York, and he knew all these forests and woods and stuff. And there was this one cave that he found once walking in the forest, and it was filled with rats. So what he did was he went and kidnapped this guy. Like he gave him the chloroform on the face, chucked him in the boot, hog-tied him,
Tied it up, yeah.
tied him up, took him to this cave, plonked him in the middle of the cave, and put a time capture, slow time-lapse camera. So the time-lapse camera filmed these rats coming and slowly over the course of 2 days eating all the flesh off this dude's body. He sent the video to the mafia boss. The mafia boss says, "Here's your money. Get the fuck out."
Really?
That's
Wow.
over the top.
Yeah.
I didn't want to
That
see
is
that shit.
insane.
That's the first chapter. It's the sickest book.
Sounds like a relatively light read. Sounds good. Yeah.
That's what I like to do on my downtime.
Yeah. Nice, man. Nice. How do your PTs run for an hour, just quickly?
I usually, I I wouldn't say I'm a nasty trainer, but I'm a tough trainer. I like to make my clients work hard.
Yep.
So a lot of people do a half hour because they don't have the work capacity to do a full hour. So I managed to cram in a fair bit of work in the half hour, but yeah, some clients do an hour.
Okay. Yep. Second question: biggest role model growing up.
Brad Gillingham.
Okay. Can we?
Not so much growing up. Me and my parents were my role models, but biggest role model over the past 5 years in powerlifting would be Brad Gillingham. He's a 7 or 8 time world champion, IPF Hall of Fame. He's pulled over 800 pounds, so 362.5 kilo over 100 times in drug-free competition. He was the individual that had me invited to the pro deadlift at the Arnold's 2 years ago. Like he individually said to the organizer, I want him there.
Wow.
He came up to me in Russia when I pulled when I pulled the gold medal deadlift at my first world championships. He came up to me afterward and said, that's the best deadlift I've ever seen. And he's one of
That's huge.
Because it was a 13-second deadlift because I was grinding so long.
Oh my god.
I've timed it too. That's not a cop out.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so he's just the pinnacle of a humble, giving, caring athlete. And he's a giant too, 6'8", about 150 kilo. And he's currently pretty unwell up in US. He had a few medical issues, so he's in hospital. So there was a big campaign on social media saying pull for Brad because he's one of the best deadlifters in history. So yeah, big shout out to Brad. Hope he's doing well.
We can share all that stuff
Absolutely.
in our show
that'd be
notes on our
fantastic.
show and all that. So that'll be good. People can check that out.
Yeah, but his biggest role model inspiration, hands down, without a doubt.
Yeah, excellent. You sound super passionate about it, which is awesome. Last question: if you could invite 3 people, dead or alive, to dinner, who would they be? Would you choose Brad as one of them?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Brad.
You got 2 more.
I'd say my partner, but I'm not. Just get out of trouble.
All right, let's just say she's in the corner, or
she's
around.
It's 3 plus 1 for me. Brad Gillingham, Dorian Yates.
Dorian Yates is the bodybuilder, right?
The shadow, the crazy bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Dorian
Temple
Yates.
Gym. Temple Gym.
Yeah, Temple Gym over in England. Just a freak. He was the one who kind of characterized how I trained when I started bodybuilding, and even to now, just blood and guts, all or nothing sort of training, like to absolute fatigue, sort of that style of training.
Yep.
So Brad, Dorian.
Sounds like there'd be a shitload of food on the table here. 4 whole chickens, a live goat, just for the protein.
Oh, who else? I don't know. Probably like someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
There's fucking another chicken and goat.
Yeah, that's right.
Biggest stable you've ever seen.
Someone's just a whole heap of stories. They're all gym related.
Arnold would be perfect for that.
Well, I've met Arnold before.
Have you?
I just shook his hand and said hello because he came out the back to wish us all best for the pro deadlift. But
Can you give us an impersonation of what he said back to her?
do more. You must do more.
Down.
Up and down.
Yeah.
Pick it up and put it down.
That's right. So what do you do for a living, Arnie? I pick it up and put it down. Nice, man. Johnny, biggest role model growing up?
Obviously my parents, just like Cam. But funnily enough, my role model I'd never met, which was my mum's dad, so my grandfather, who was apparently a man of pretty big stature, especially for like an age like close to 6 foot. They'd carry. My parents owned from Vietnam. They owned a rice warehouse distribution thing, and he used to carry like 50 kilo Hessian sacks of rice, one on each shoulder, and stack them up. But the reason why he was a role model is because even though they were sort of, let's say, like not a rich family, but a well-to-do family, they don't own a business, he treated everyone well.
Yep.
Right to the point where all hell broke loose when the Vietnam War was coming to an end and people were looting. The workers that were looking after the warehouse and everything didn't loot. They guarded. They helped guard the place, guarded the family house and everything else. Wow. And in fact, alerted my grandfather that people were trying to loot the place. So it's that level of respect, and I sort of live by that in the way he did business. All stories from my mum, of course.
That's a great answer.
That's really good. If you have downtime, how do you spend it?
Like Cam, I actually don't have much separation between work and home life. Like
Yeah.
most, every now and again, I might play games on a PC.
Yep.
But even then, it's strategy, war-based, like Total War, where you build an army, build an economy, play
Sure.
politics, and take over a country.
What games? I don't play them, but what
Oh,
games
it's a
do you
game
do?
called Rome Total War 2.
yeah.
So you have to deal with politics. You got to fund your army, build a civilization, and then go take over
Oh, that's cool.
either politically or by
militarily.
Yeah,
militarily.
Yeah,
I don't know. I
Sounds like another job, eh?
yeah. Always worth it.
I like that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
like
it's
I,
good.
do,
Yeah, it's-
I,
You ever get sucked right into that world
And you
too?
can take
I
something away from that.
I
Like,
had a
it's
mate
not
that
just
would
boring,
play
mindless shit. Like, you
Yeah.
can get something from it, and you're having fun at the same time.
that's the way I approach business and work as well. It's sort of you got to think of it in multifaceted ways to approach
right.
things. You just can't go buy something all the time, and that's the way to get it.
No, it's good to always be productive, definitely. If you had... what? That's a fair comment, isn't it?
It had nothing to do with anything, mate.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's good to always be
Play
productive.
games.
What's that got to do with playing video games?
I don't know. I panicked a little bit and just threw it in there.
Right, I know what you meant. I knew.
Yeah, yeah. See, me and Cam are on the same page, Bill.
I tell the missus all the time it's
Don't fuck with
productive
this.
work.
That's right. Yeah. And 3 people dead or alive to the dinner table. Who are they?
That is.
It's a tough one.
How hard is it? Hey, it's such a shit question to answer.
It is very
you
tough.
need-
Sorry.
That's all right.
You need,
I'll,
we
I'm
should
not
we
good
should have
today.
given you a heads up. It's a great answer if we give you a heads up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get some
On
good,
the spot, it's a tough one.
On the spot, it's tough as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
hey?
I would say first one will be the first emperor of China.
Right.
Can't remember his name, whatever, but he was known as a tyrant.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have him for dinner just to find out how he dealt with being portrayed as a tyrant, although he unified China as one country when it was like, I don't know, like 12 kingdoms or something like that. So obviously he had to do just raise and burn his way through and then
Yeah.
conquer everyone. But how would you have done it otherwise?
Yeah.
Just pick his reign. That's one. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
Bill
he'd be a
Kazmaier?
good one.
Bill
He's gonna come
Kazmaier?
back at some point, they say.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll
Someone
get
said Jesus.
I'll get Bill Kazmaier.
Okay. Who's that?
Yeah, because arguably what the world's strongest man in history.
Okay.
Crazy
Bill
strong.
Kazmaier. Yep.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
like what?
he bent a frying pan with one hand.
How? How did he?
Uh,
So you can use your thigh.
Scrunched it up.
Yeah, like he had
Jesus
surgery on his
Christ.
hand like 2 weeks before this video, and then
And he just
they just
bent
asked,
a frying
yeah,
pan?
bent a frying pan.
I've rolled a frying pan, but with 2 hands.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Man,
Shit,
I've broken
man.
a pencil. I'm
Take the skin off.
Broken a pencil.
God,
Uh,
we're all mates, by the way, aren't we?
Yeah, just don't step out.
And then third one will be
But seriously.
my grandfather, who I never met. That'll be the third one.
Your
Okay,
grandfather.
cool. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah,
That'd be really
just
good,
pick
good.
his brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Normally we find that the biggest role model in someone to find at dinner are closely related. Excellent, boys. That was good. Hey, anything you want to shout out or plug on the show? Please feel free now.
Well, I'll plug John, because he's been my oldest sponsor. He picked me up when I was ranked, I think, 19th or 20th in the country. And under John, I've just jumped each year. And no matter what time of the year or what I've wanted, he's always provided the equipment, provided the support and transport and whatever's needed. So City Strength, SBD, John, and they're fantastic. Australia's exclusive distributor of SBD equipment. Plug myself. I've got an upcoming seminar at Strength Nation Gym in Penrith.
Perfect.
So that'll be a 5-hour seminar/workshop where I go over the squat, bench, deadlift, how to program, and technique correction for everyone that goes. So it's a good way to jump in, learn how to fix your technique, but fix others, whether they be clients or friends or fellow lifters in the gym. So I'll be doing that on the 28th of May at Strength Nation in Penrith.
Excellent.
Also, my supplement sponsors, my supplement store, and my sponsor, the physiotherapist Terrace Physio Plus up in Raymond Terrace in Newcastle.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll plug Powerlifting Australia.
Yeah.
So everyone out there who wants to know
That's how we got onto you guys.
any
I emailed
bit
the
of information about
Australia and they
powerlifting,
put us onto you.
anything about powerlifting, where your closest affiliated club is, or coaches to see, jump onto powerliftingaustralia.com or jump on the Powerlifting Australia Facebook page, and you get a reply pretty quickly and steer you in the right direction from there.
If you're at any of the upcoming Australian Fitness and Health Expos, the Powerlifting Australia will have a competition at each one of those in Sydney, Perth, Brisbane, and Melbourne.
Excellent.
Yeah,
So if
Melbourne
you-
one's in 2
coming
weeks.
up in
Melbourne's coming
29th, I think, of
Yeah.
April starts.
Last weekend of April. Yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful. And also, if you want people to follow you or find you on social media or anywhere there, where can they find you?
My social media is Cam Strength, that's CAM Strength,
Yep.
on Instagram and Facebook.
Yep. Mine's City Strength, both on Instagram and Facebook.
Beautiful. I've actually got one question to finish off with. Why should people start powerlifting?
First and foremost, the camaraderie, the friendships, and the people I've met that have helped build. Because I was never a confident person, had self-esteem issues from bodybuilding, largely. From jumping into powerlifting, I've made friends locally, nationally, and all around the world. And it's just like a big family. You can't wait to go to a comp, just not to lift, but to catch up with your best friends.
And powerlifting, the pure fact that you're doing strength training builds mental and physical resilience.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So people find that, the hardest thing they encounter during their working week or whatever is experienced in the gym. Everything else outside is perceived as not as traumatic and not as stressful.
And being strong and badass as fuck. I guess.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool.
Eating donuts.
Beautiful. Good stuff, boys. Well, thanks a lot for coming on the show. I reckon that was a great interview.
Thank you for having
Really
us.
helpful.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Good stuff. That's a wrap.
And that was the second part to the two-part series from Cameron Mckenzie and John Tran. Thank you very much for listening. We are brought to you by Audible Trial, www.audibletrial.com/ADVF radio. We are also brought to you by Loxam Solutions, www.loxamsolutions.com.au. NDO Sups for all your training supplements. Visit www.ndosups.com. And lastly, our mother company, Adventure Fit Travel, for all you travelers out there. www.adventurefittravel.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast, guys, on iTunes. And if you are interested in any of the show notes, we'll post the links at www.adventurefittravel.com/podcasts. Adios.
Discovery Roger, go for deploy.